You excited or what?
I'm excited because
I
I have to have another fan out moment. Like, Kris was my first favorite skater.
Oh, fuck.
You were like my first.
What do I do on the
You're allowed. You can do whatever you want.
I bleached my hair because of Kris. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you were like a fashionable, trend-setting dude back then. Like everything you did, everyone copied.
Which sucks because when you look back on it, it was illegal as fuck. It was totally illegal, man.
We, even myself, wanted to have a little Markovich style. Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
no, not in a weird way.
no, I know.
We all
I
wanted
love
a little
you, but not
Markovich
like
in
that.
Good.
No, but I remember Kane and I were even dyeing our hair and stuff after we saw you fake Ollie the Carlsbad Gap. We're like, oh shit.
Yep.
That's
I
the
don't
dude.
even know where that shit came from. Like, I had some dumbass kid from Florida that moved out here, you know? Well, there we go.
How do you look back at that and get bummed? That's like us nerds, us skate nerds. That's like our favorite era right there. All that cool shit.
I don't know. I mean, I just look back on a lot of shit that's illegal as fuck. Like, the 101 video, there's a line where I do like a switch nose blunt side. I was in Venice curves to like big spin out over whatever. And I've got like the biggest fucking pants on. Like I look like I got a fucking moo-moo on under my shirt, you know? So it's like, what the fuck were you doing back then? You know, I'm like,
That was it.
yeah.
Is that the part maybe you regret, or you look back and not regret, but are most embarrassed by in your whole transcending career? Because you did a long one.
I think the most embarrassing time, anything out of all,
It
is the
doesn't have to be
whiskey
gear
video.
either.
No, just whiskey video.
Whiskey video?
That, and then giant fucking pants.
Why is that? Why the whiskey video and giant pants?
It was given one of the funnest times ever, but looking back on it, I mean, I don't want people to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Think of me like that, yeah.
I mean, not that I really have a legacy that I'm trying to carry on or anything, but just even my family. Like, I don't want my family being like, oh, I saw your son in this fucking whiskey video. He broke a bottle over his head. Like, yeah, way to raise your kid. I'm like, fuck. Like, no, it wasn't.
Remember that
like
was the thing for a hot summer. For one summer, that was like the thing to
Breaking
do.
bottles?
Like, yeah, all these dudes would come out and like do this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Why
Didn't
would
always
you
work.
No.
But yeah, Molson bottles are thinner. And you can, that's what they would all do when they break them first go. But any dumbass would just grab a bottle and do it. And I'm like, not gonna happen. And you would just, they'd smack and it wouldn't go. And you're like, God damn it, you know?
It hurts. Huh?
It hurts really bad.
You guys were just talking about fighting back in Florida? Fighting
Almost,
each other?
yeah.
Wait, you guys did?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was living in...
You're from the same area? Right?
No.
Or-
No, we're not.
Jacksonville, right? East Coast?
Yeah. And
Pensacola, the Redneck Riviera.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Somewhat better,
Yeah.
way worse.
I love the dub.
But Markovich, Kris has already been living out here, but I was 17. I think I'm only a couple years younger than you, maybe.
Yeah, and you grew up with Kane, and Kane had come out, and you hadn't quite started yet.
Yeah, and so I was back in Tallahassee staying at this new vamped up skate park, and they were getting guys from out here, like, and Kris was one of them, Jamie Thomas was another, and we were all kind of shacking up and staying together at this skate park, and we were all skating, and had a girlfriend there, and I don't know what started. Oh, keys, car keys. That's what it was. Okay, my girlfriend at the time's car keys. Oh, it's all coming back to me.
Cool.
So
In real time.
I let Kris and Jamie and a couple of the guys use my girlfriend's car, like it was up to me or something. And so I gave them the keys, and I guess Kris brought the keys back and either claimed or did hand them to me. I mean, I was young and drinking at the time too. Or threw them down where I was sleeping, where it was like a sleeping bag or something, and they ended up being under there, but he claimed he gave me the keys, and we were looking everywhere for these keys, and I kept coming at him like a little shithead kid, you know, just like, dude, seriously, it's my girlfriend's car, da-da-da, and he just finally goes, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kill you, dude. I gave you your fucking keys back. Stop asking me about the fucking keys, I'm gonna kick your ass. And then Jamie comes over and he chimes in and everybody's chiming in and I'm like, holy shit. Guys that I look up to are about to kick my ass here. Like, oh my God, I was so bummed.
Do you think at one point in time that if you could go back, your career would have been, obviously you think it would have been different, but do you ever do that to yourself maybe? Like, what if you didn't go the alcohol route? Because you had a battle with it for a long time.
Yeah. I did for a while, and this is while I was still stuck in my addiction after it all went to shit and I partied it all away. I did. I dwelled on that. No, it's fine. I dwelled on it for a while, but now that I've been sober for a little over 8 years now, I just
congratulations, bro.
Yeah, just celebrated. Cheers. Yeah.
It's hard to do, but once you get going, it's easy, huh?
Yeah. So, but I'm
How I feel about these.
I have no regrets on what I went through because it taught me a lot, not only about who I truly am, but that I needed to go through that, and I needed to experience that. I needed those hard life changes to be able to be the person I am today.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful for it. You know, as much as it ruined my life for a long time, and that was because of me making the choice to, that I'm thankful it all happened. You know, but I did dwell, man. I was so pissed when I had to move out underneath the ramp. Danny let me move underneath the big DC vert ramp for a while, and I'm forever grateful for Danny. You know, trying to help as much as he could. He paid my last month's rent at the place I was living. I mean, he did a lot for me and put up with my shit because I was supposed to move in there and get my shit together.
But I watched your free lunch. It like got worse after that, right? Which was surprising to me. Like you kept going down, right?
Yeah, and it did, and that's what I mean is like it just progressively took over to where I was so angry, and that's where the dwelling came from. So I needed to drink more. I needed to, put other things in my. I mean, I just needed to be completely blacked out from life, and that was just taking its toll and taking me down further and further in depression, and got to the point where I just, I was ready to die, dude. I was over it. I was over everything and wondering what happened to my career, like. Fuck you. I was just so mad at everybody, but it was really just all me and alcohol. Me and alcohol don't get along. Yeah. And I took it, I was fortunate enough to where it's out of my life now, and I have an amazing life because of it. I was already, I can't even believe I made it to like the spot where I was in skateboarding because I was partying heavily, and Rodney Mullen and Day One wanted me to ride for World and all this stuff, and Danny was paying me to ride for XYZ, and I was getting
in there for a little while.
Yeah, but I got reeled in right before all that DECA stuff happened, and I was like, really? Because I mean, Rodney Mullen and Day One, I was like, why did these guys want me on their team? Like what? But I was so grateful, and I still trip out on it. My first pro model was shaped with Rodney Mullen, So it was like I got to live some things that people dream about, and it's cool. But I was like, damn, how did I get there? Like even in the first place, because I was just already starting to be a mess. But I think I was young, and my body was dealing with it differently, so I could hang, a little bit, and I could skate buzzed, I could drink and skate. And Rodney put me at a high pay rate as an amateur when I got the cover of Trans World, had feedback, and Rodney was like, yeah, hook this dude up, but not knowing, what was going on in my life. He just kind of saw it from the outside, like, oh, he's skating his ass off, let's hook him up. And then realistically, all that did was like, yeah. And then when I turned pro, all that doubled. And I'm like, beers on me, everything, weed, whatever. Come on, let's do this.
So, I will say one thing that you just said that I don't think many people get or know or understand. Like you said, making your first shape with Rodney. Yeah. Like that is like a religious experience. Right. Yeah. And I worked with Rodney through 101. A lot of stuff with Prime, and even after I tried to work with him, I don't know. I mean, obviously Rodney fucking Mullen, genius, wizard.
Top two guys maybe within shapes and measurements and boards is Schmidt and Rodney, right?
I would say
you've done with both.
And I've
fucking gnarly.
He knows that, working with Rodney, when you walk into that building, you're gonna walk out of there with the best fucking skateboard that you've ever ridden at that moment. Yeah. And it's gonna be. There was times I worked for 2 or 3 days with Rodney. There was the toothbrush Metallica 101 board I had, making fun of Scott Stanton. Yeah. That shape came out, and everyone rode it. You could see, there was certain boards throughout it. Jordan Richter's condom board, how to put on a condom, that graphic. That shape at the time, everybody rode. And then there would be these, every couple months throughout the World Camp, Blind, 101, World Industries, Bitch, even at the time, there would be these shapes that would come out, and everybody would just be like, dude, this is the best thing ever.
So that wasn't them trying to push a graphic, it was everybody finding a shape.
Just finding a shape. And my first board on 101 was the Martian graphic, and that had kind of a wider, still tapered, round tail, because everything back in the day kind of went wide in the tail. The tail had to be kind of round or whatever. And then everything still went out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how
always went out.
Yeah, it always went out.
What was that for? Either for
I think it's just foot placement, like a wider.
Was it given better? This is my theory back on that time. Was it was giving you more room for error on riding switch? Because your
there
switch,
was no switch then. That's the thing.
was
At the
a
time,
little-
like 90, 91, it wasn't
Solomon
really.
just had
Solomon was
started.
just coming out.
I thought it was maybe like not back then. I didn't know what the fuck it was for, but now looking back, maybe I'm offing the years a little bit. But I thought it maybe now.
Pressure flips.
But why
Fuck
off
if
the
I know
nose?
why
Why
they
would the
were.
nose be so wide off a pressure flip? Oh, a lot of people did them off the nose though.
Yeah,
a lot of people did pressure flip.
because it wore your board. You did so many of them, it made it so sharp on the side there, wherever you did
Wait,
it.
let's
on the nose,
reiterate
right
that
over.
you guys did one of those. I didn't fucking do anything.
I was actually
Wait,
going
I
to
stayed
say,
Am I
away from
busted?
that. Like,
You kind of did,
Hey,
huh?
I
You
did.
did. You were one of the early guys to do actual inward.
I did
heels.
inward heel flips before
Yeah.
pressure flips.
Hey, you know it's cool to get on the young guys if you play them in skate. Is a good old pressure flip. They don't know what the hell to do with that. Like
They're like,
late
what the
shove
fuck
it.
was that? Like,
what was it like for you back then? Because this was like a Jeremy Ray question too. Like you were skating big and fast, and everyone else, 99.9% of people were like inching along, doing pressure flips and trying triple flips. Like what was it? Even the equipment wasn't built necessarily for speed or for. Wheels were this big.
38
What was it
millimeter
like for
wheels,
you?
and
Like,
he's
did you
blazing.
feel like you
What
were
were
in a
they called?
different
Bearing huggers or something?
bearing
Bearing
covers?
covers.
Bearing covers.
But
yeah.
I mean, was it frustrating to you? Did you feel limited by the equipment or by the trends of the time with the way you wanted to skate?
well, I mean, like looking back on it, I would say I was limited
Yeah.
or whatever. But no, at the time, like you don't fucking know. It's like you
what
know,
it
you're
is.
just in it, and that's what you have. But I do know there was like. I lived in Florida in Pensacola, and it's flat as this table. There's like maybe 3 hills in the whole town. And I used to watch Julian Stranger, and his trucks used to like look like they would just jiggle, and he would be bombing hills in San Francisco, killing it. And I don't know, something resonated with me, and I won't even go into it, but yeah, the dude rips, you know.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I was like, "Fuck! I'm from Florida. I've got to push fast. Like I can't. There's no hills for me. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna learn flat ground or if I'm gonna learn any tricks, everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push 5 times
Full speed.
as fast as I can go. And I would throw my board down and push 5 times and try a 360 flip and just eat shit. Like, but every one of them was as fast as I could go.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. Like if I did a kickflip, I had to do 5 kickflips in a row as fast as I could go, or 5 360 flips, or 5 whatever, and just as fast as you could go.
so awesome.
So then, like I was just, you know, like that asshole little kid, scabs everywhere from
Yeah.
falling, skating flat ground. I came out to California and everything that I was doing, like the little wheels, the pressure flips, all that stuff came out, and it just seemed wrong. Like going from, all right, I'm gonna push as fast as I fucking can, trying to do a kickflip or a 360 flip, and then you've got, you know, pressure flips like that. And what was the fucking dude's name? And I don't want to be a dick to him, but he had
David
like.
Bird.
Thank you. He had like 19
Was that really
parts.
what you're
Yes.
saying?
Oh my gosh.
that
was
in the
amazing.
Union video?
I'm like,
Yes.
It's
He
in-
had like
You
4
repeated
parts.
every-
Dude, because I watched the part still. Back in the day, he tripped us out. He did every variation at the spots we used to go to, too, because he's like an El Cajon guy. So we could go to all the
Yes.
spots.
And you
With
kind of said
David
it
Bird.
jokingly, and that was it.
No,
No,
it was
that's
perfect.
not-
okay.
Because he had like 4
Everything.
parts in the Union
Yeah,
video.
With
yeah.
all every variation you could possibly
off
do. It
curves.
was like- but this guy was really like inventing ways to pressure flip, and he would fill parts in a Union video, which
you
there was
seen-
dudes
I
going
remember.
ape shit.
Yeah.
He had 3 or 4 different. It would be like Damon Bird, and they would go, "Oh, Damon Bird's friend, Damon Bird," and it'd be like that other dude, Damon Bird, and it would just be this other part, and it would just
It would
keep
spell
going.
bird with
Yeah.
a BYRD and then BIRD.
I tried switch flip front nose slide for hours and just fucked up the switch flip front hook and landed one. It's honestly one of my favorite tricks. The way it sounds, feels, looks, everything.